I wanted to make a build for Uriel a while back since when it came out on December 10th of last year. And during that time, I was very confused / overwhelmed on how to make builds in Warframe. So now throughout the days and hours and seconds, I've been learning how to make builds. Hopefully, I don't really know, but I just found this one really fun, especially his fourth ability, because you're gonna obliterate everything around you. No joke. He's really fun, and I just wanted to share the build. Let's first head to the abilities. On his first ability, it is called Infernalist. This will manifest an aura of flames inflicting heat damage and status effects on nearby enemies. Tap your dodge while airborne to take flight as a flaming meteor of destruction. And if you are riding the yellow shards, you can put velocity shards and you can make your first ability move much faster. But we're not going to be doing that. I just wanted to let you guys know that you can do that. So the first ability is great for movement for Uriel. The second ability is called Remedium. Uriel heals himself and his demons. If his demons are dead, they are resurrected. So the passive will give you these 3 demon buddies. We'll get onto that later once we're done talking about the ability. So this will give you overshield when you press your 2. When Uriel's health is at max, you're also going to be getting an overshield. Another thing for your second ability is that when you activate it, the demon will latch onto an enemy, and once you kill that enemy, it will drop health orbs and energy orbs based on how much strength you have. His third ability is called the Demonium. Uriel rips out the souls of his demons, draining their health, and sends them in search of new victims. Souls explode on contact with an enemy, rendering it vulnerable to damage. You can tell when the enemy is vulnerable when one of the minions will attach onto them, and it will create this sigil above their head. That's when you know that the enemy is vulnerable. And as you kill that marked enemy, it will grant you more progress to your fourth ability. And that fourth ability is called Brimstone. Uriel and his demons create a growing ring of flaming brimstone. Charge the ability by utilizing the demon abilities. Damage inflicted increases with each consecutive hit. So once you load into a mission, you're going to see a bar on the bottom right hand side of your screen. This bar is for your fourth ability. So if you do not have any charges, you cannot be able to use your fourth ability. So here are the ways for you to generate that bar. The first thing you can do is by killing enemies affected by the Uriel's demons. The second method is by picking up these runes around the map. These runes, whenever you pick it up, will grant you heat to that weapon. But if it is an Arcane, it will not do that for you. And lastly, by defeating enemies that are marked by that third ability. Let's head to the passive. The first demon is called Catanok. This demon will snare and slow enemies, and it will chain them together. You actually see chains attaching it to different enemies. So damage dealt to any target in the chain is inflicted on all snared enemies. The second demon is called Golfagger. This one will latch onto foes, dealing damage over time. If killed, a circle of pain is spawned. This will just create a fire pool underneath them. And the last demon is called Vitalis. This will inscribe a demonic rune upon fallen foes that will add fire rate and heat damage when collected. There is options to subsume abilities. As this being my first Warframe build video, I'm not going to be doing that. So I'm just going to do it raw. So all of the abilities are apart from Uriel. All right, let's head to the mods that I was using for Uriel. I mostly spiked into range, duration, and strength. So for strength, I went with 3 mods. Blind Rage, but sadly it's going to decrease your ability efficiency, so your abilities are going to cost more. The second one, Precision Intensify. Since I'm spiking into my fourth ability, I want to increase my damage even further, because the longer the enemies are within your fourth ability, the more damage they're going to be receiving. So for Precision Intensify, it's going to give my fourth ability only 90% ability strength. And lastly, I went with Transient Fortitude to increase my ability strength even further at the cost of ability duration. So we're going to be losing minus 27.5% ability duration. For range, I went with 2 mods. The first one is Stretch, and the second one is Overextended. This will give me a boatload of range at the cost of ability strength. Since our abilities are going to cost a lot when casting them, I went with Prime Flow. So now we're going to be holding up to 427 energy. And on the duration department, I went with Primed Continuity. If you don't have Primed Continuity, you can just use the basic one. But I highly recommend going for the primed version of it. And I do have 188% duration right now because I am using 4 Crimson Tau Forged shards, and each and every one of them is 15% ability duration, because I wanted to make my 4 last longer whenever I cast it. And the 5th Archon shard I went with is the Amber Tau Forge, and I went with casting speed, so I can be able to cast my 4 much faster. This isn't necessary, it's just more of a quality of life type of thing. If you don't care about this, you can either put another red Tau Forge shard with either ability strength or duration. And the last mod I went with is Archon Vitality, mainly due to applying extra heat, because since Uriel applies a lot of heat, this mod will apply it twice. So instead of applying it once, it's going to apply 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. And you're also going to be getting more healing for more survivability. On the Aura mod, I went with Growing Power just to increase the ability strength by 25% when dealing a status effect on a weapon. And this will last up to 6 seconds. And for the Aura mod, you can choose whatever Aura mod you like. And same goes for the Exilis mod. I went with Power Drift, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people go for Prime Sure-Footed. I don't have it. I would really want it, but I got to keep logging in every day. So instead, I went with Power Drift for extra ability strength and a 30% chance to resist knockdown, so I won't fall over whenever an enemy hits me. On the Arcanes, I went with Molt Augmented. Whenever I get kills, I would grant even more ability strength. So if you do have a rank 5 Molt Augmented Arcane and you reach 250 kills, it will grant you 60% extra ability strength during that mission. And the second Arcane I went with is Concentration. On ability cast, it will grant you plus 60% ability duration for 3 seconds. Here's what you're going to want to do if you want to increase your duration for your 4th ability. So once your 4th ability is ready to be activated, before you're pressing it, be sure to activate either your 1st, your 2nd, or 3rd ability. It would be my 1st or 3rd. Doesn't really matter, whichever you pick. Once you do, activate your 4th, and then you're going to be benefiting from the extra duration from Concentration. When you first try it out, it's kind of hard to get the loop down, but the more you play it, the more you understand. So remember, before you activate your 4, either activate your 1st, your 2nd, or 3rd ability, then activate your 4th ability. So the gameplay loop when using Uriel is to activate your 1, then activate your 3. Once you're done activating your 3, activate your 1 again to grant you more duration because of Arcane Concentration. After that, use your 2 to give yourself an overshield. But remember, you have to be at max HP to grant yourself that overshield. And then after, be sure to collect all of the orbs around you to grant you heat on your weapon. And be sure to go for enemies that have that marked symbol above them, because those enemies are going to be giving you more progress to your 4th ability. And once you have your 4th ability ready, be sure to activate your 1st, 2nd, or 3rd ability, then activate your 4th. Once you activate your 4th, everything around you will be eviscerated. But if they are not, wait a few seconds and then the damage over time will kick in and then they'll die. You can use any weapon for Uriel, but I went with the Burst in Prime. I just got it. It's pretty fun. It does have an Incarnate sadly, but I heard that the Incarnate on the Burstin is pretty strong. Here are all of the mods I was using for the Burstin if you are interested. If you guys did enjoy this build video, I hope that helped you and you learned something new. And if you did, I would greatly appreciate it if you were to hit that like button and also subscribe. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, evening, or afternoon. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.